Hey traders, this is Cousin Vinny coming to you at 9 p.m. on Sunday the 8th, where the futures have gapped a little bit lower on the open Sunday. Alright, we're currently trading 1348.25 and we closed at 1351.75 on Friday. So I'm looking at the ES daily, and a few things pop out. The highs that we've put in, okay, in March, in beginning of May, and in July, okay, and this descending trend line. We have the 100 MA, which price closed right at on Friday, and we have that descending pattern. And we've had this uptrend that has been curtailed by these highs here, okay? Basically an ascending wedge, which typically breaks to the downside, okay? So, that said, looking at the fibs, I generally would check out this level here to this high, and this lower trend line works out to the 382 Fibonacci retracement. Okay, there are some that are thinking that we will break lower into mid-July, which we only have a couple of weeks now, and then rally higher into the November elections. So it's hard to say. All we can do is look at price and check the dollar, which currently we're at highs. Okay, 83.65 is a level to watch. That's long-term resistance, okay, right here, which we hit at the end of May. And we have a 20 MA, which is turning upwards, which we need to keep an eye on. But currently, the DX is trading at 83.50. So it's not surprising that ES is trading where it is, okay? So, spiders, we are on the daily in this descending pattern. We had our inverted head and shoulders. We broke above the upper trend line, and we have the same pattern here that we have on the ES, obviously. Okay. Okay, so we conceivably could come down to this lower trend line, which would be span A on the Kumo, and we could conceivably bounce here or break down. I don't know. My thoughts are that we're probably going to break down, but I'm not going to anticipate anything. I'll have to take a look at GTO's bond stock chart to get a better read, but for now I'm anticipating we could move lower with the dollar looking strong. Okay, we're really close to 83.65, so overnight we're going to get an idea of what's going to happen at 83.65. Either we're going to move higher and equities move lower, or the reverse. Okay, so let's take a look at GMCR, which I took on Friday. Noted that we had 17.74% short. I took the week 2 trade. I did swing it. We had some 1,300 calls traded at the open on Friday, so something to watch for. Chiku is right at price. Okay, we had a TK cross, and my target is Kumo, obviously, which also corresponds to this level up here, which could really get going in terms of this vacuum. Okay, so if we get above this level here and the 50 EMA, which is right here, the blue line, could get interesting. Bollinger Bands are compressed. They look like they want to take off, but we are overbought. Okay, so I have a fairly small position. I only have 10 of the weeklies right now. I forget what price I entered at, but anyway, so that's GMCR. CRZO, I just want to point out something that I mentioned to Tomahawk. You have the combination of selling puts here, 10,000 August 1750s on the 20th, okay, which is right here. So a trader thought that this wasn't going lower. Okay, we were looking at this low over here, put in back in October of 2011. We had a vacuum. If you look at this area here, I was also looking at the 60-minute, which had that descending channel. We had on the 60-minute the Kumo breakout here, which really coincided with the upper trend line that we were watching, and this larger, you can see back here, this larger volume at price in here. Then once we exceeded that level, we just took off and went to the races. There's a number of other energy names out there that I'm watching, but being I'm on vacation this week, I'm working on the house, I won't be doing a whole lot of trading this week. Groupon is another trade. It was a small one. I have 20 puts, the July 8ths, and it looks pretty good. I'm still looking at this lower trend line here for my target, so I'll check it out. I took half of them off, so basically this is a free trade at this point. Let's see, vacuum here, so let me take a look at the, yeah, you can see here all of this volume up here that we're below it now, so, and we're at 52-week lows. We are oversold. When that happens, I typically look at the MACD, which is rolling over as well. This is showing a very weak chart. The volume was about average, but the previous 3 days were really interesting. Tuesday and Wednesday got some really serious action. We moved lower, so I've been in since Tuesday. I forget why, but there was a reason. I did take the trade, other than the fact that it was in this ascending channel and I expected this to break down. There was somebody mentioned something online. I forget what it was. Probably a Twitter comment by Options Hawk. The other thing, before I forget, that I've been paying attention to is the monthly on the S&P 500. Okay, you'll note that if we connect these highs from 2007 and 2011, that we had this piercing pattern which came back up into this red candle, okay, and somewhat of a hammer as well. We moved down below the 20 period on the monthly, so it's something interesting that I'm keeping an eye on. And the 10 period moving average, which is turning up now, and price is above. So VVUS, okay, you can read this later, but basically there's some interesting call volume. Okay, a call spread 2,000 times. We've got a bullish Kumo for the most part. We have Chico above price. We have an ascending Tenkan and Kijun, and the Kumo looks pretty nice. So we came down and almost tested this level here from a breakout. Actually, we did test it, and we moved higher. Although we closed a little bit red, we moved higher. So 15.5% short. Aeropostale. There was a closing of 2,000 August 16 calls, and shares jumped from 16, okay, to 19. And that was when all this call action began. And now opening buys of the August 20 calls for more than 5,000 contracts, trading 8 times daily volume. Okay, so that was on the 6th. So there's no telling what happened to those calls. If that was happening during the morning. But we have Kumo above. We have this pattern. Okay, that we broke out of. And we have TK cross. TK cross below the Kumo is typically looked at as a weaker signal, but and you can see they both flattened out. So, but the call action is quite interesting, and you have 8.48% short. Okay, Monster Worldwide. There's been talk of a buyout for some time, and August 10 calls, 3,400 were bought at 35 cent offers. Okay. And trading on 1.5 times daily volume in the first 20 minutes of trading. So there's a bullish flow seeking potential buyout. So they're 17.2% short, and earnings are 726 before the open. That's not confirmed. So keep an eye on Monster Worldwide. Okay, we have a symmetrical triangle. We have price just below Kumo. It'd be interesting to trade a straddle or a strangle here. Okay, for a potential move in either direction. If news were to come out that a buyout was not likely to happen, the shares could drop. Conversely, they could move higher. So maybe a straddle or a strangle. Okay, so that's Monster Worldwide. Again, this is Cousin Vinny coming to you on Sunday, the 8th, with a look at the week ahead. Remember, I'll be on vacation this week, working on my house, the deck, and so forth. So I probably won't be in the room that much. So if you see something that you're interested in, interesting trades, give me a tweet, and I'll try to talk to you on Monday or this week. Okay, take care, and remember to use your stops.